Most of us use credit cards or borrow money at one time or another.
We have a mortgage on our house, but it would be a real problem if we spent way more than we made and racked up a bunch of debt.
How much is too much? The US government is $21 trillion in debt. That seems like too much, especially since 43% of the country's debt is held by foreign investors.
A lot of people think we need to rein in the national debt, but they don't necessarily agree on how to do it. Here are 3 possible options, along with drawbacks to consider for each.
It's not right to pass this huge debt on to our kids. I think rich people and corporations should pay more in taxes because they earn more. And look, why should a family that makes $50,000 a year pay Social Security taxes on all of their earnings when a family that makes $500,000 only pays taxes on the first 27% of what they make? I think we should roll back the recent tax cuts.
And we should cut down on spending, especially in big ticket programs like defense. Granted, we might not feel as safe if we cut down military spending, and I guess raising taxes could throw our economy into a tailspin. There would be trade-offs to consider.
Nobody wants to give up their benefits or programs, and politicians just go along with spending money we don't have to keep their base happy.
Right. We need ways to make the government stop overspending, like a constitutional amendment that forces the government to keep a balanced budget. A lot of states have that already.
Or making Congress show how each new program will be paid for before it can pass.
Pay as you go.
Government programs ought to be looked at every few years to make sure they're still working or even necessary before they get funded again.
More endless political wrangling.
And this could make it harder to deal with emergency situations like hurricanes or floods. And that could be a real drawback.
Sure, this can reduce future debt, but it doesn't do anything about all the debt we already have.
Right.
I think if we concentrated on improving the economy, that tax revenues would go up. And then the debt wouldn't be such a big problem in comparison. Things like better job training and a massive infrastructure program and lower corporate taxes could really help the US compete financially with other countries.
But if we lower taxes and spend more, then the debt goes even higher, right? And it's already too large as is. Is that an acceptable trade-off? The national debt is complicated, and there's a lot of disagreement on how we should go about it.
Should all of us have to tighten our belts, or should we ask more from large corporations or those who are wealthy?
Should we take drastic action to force lawmakers to shrink the debt? And if we do, what services are we willing to live without?
To find answers, we need to deliberate about what we're willing to sacrifice and what will be the best decision for our communities and our country. We have to face up to some hard trade-offs. So let's start talking.